Welcome to Ontario, home of over 250,000 freshwater lakes, just like this beauty right behind me. It's also the place of the nation's capital, Ottawa, and the provincial capital, Toronto, Ontario, the most culturally diverse city on the entire planet. With over 40% of the population born outside of the country, it makes the province a hotbed for culinary activity. Ontario is also known for its famous bird, as seen here on the back of the loonie, the loon. The birthplace of numerous famous Canadian actors, artists, and musicians like Tom Green, Mike Myers, Dan Aykroyd, Deadmau5, Wicca Wicca, the Biebs, Justin Bieber, Alanis Morissette, and the list goes on and on and on. Welcome to Ontario, baby. It's gonna be delicious.
Hi, I'm Kix. I love food, travel, and motorbikes. This year, I wanted to see my own backyard, Canada. So I decided to ride the second largest country in the world, coast to coast, on a 250cc dirt bike. It was an incredible opportunity to see the real Canada from inside the kitchens of real Canadians. These are the people and foods that make up this incredible country. Welcome to the Cooked in Canada motorcycle adventure.
Well, Ontario, maybe not the most amazing sign I've ever seen as a welcome, but at least you have one. When I crossed into Manitoba on that road, there was nothing. Welcome to Ontario! There's going to be a whole lot of driving on this route. Woo!
Crossing into this massive province, I was on a mission to track down some truly unique culinary experiences. Namely, what goes on behind the doors of a soup kitchen? I mean, how many times have you eaten at a soup kitchen? If you're lucky, the answer is none. En route, I was planning to find some great wild camping spots to break up a lot of driving. But not everyone was wanting to take the scenic route, and this truck had been riding my ass for miles. If you didn't know, don't ride a biker's ass. What happens next? I have zero sympathy for.
Oh, too bad. The speed limit's 90, and I saw the one cop coming one way, but I didn't see that one hiding out behind the little ledge there. And I was going, like 90, 95, and then that guy smashed on her to go around because he's been on my ass for like the last, 10 kilometers or so. And just at that perfect moment, the cop was waiting for him to drive by. That's going to be a little pricey.
It doesn't take long before the roads are winding along the endless lakes, and I soon find myself at a secluded yet smoky lakeside camp spot.
Damn! Other than it is insanely smoky from the wildfires of, everywhere, because the whole country seems to be on fire right now. Jeez Louise, hopefully it rains. This looks like a pretty sweet spot. I think we're going to be camping lakeside tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, look at this stunner spot. Shit.
After setting up camp and unpacking the bike, I search around for a little fishing spot in the hopes of catching dinner. But after an hour or so of no bites, I head back to camp for a gas-powered one-pot wonder over my Dragonfly stove.
Night one, Ontario camping, lakeside. I don't even know what lake we're by. I think it starts with a G.
Daryl, who you'd met in the last 2 episodes, sent me off with all kinds of little goodies, including this smoked pork loin I've been nibbling on for a few days now. It's smoky and delicious, but hella salty. So I've been cooking with it as both the protein and the seasoning.
Okay, I can smell this. I can smell sweet, sweet scent. Smoked pork loin.
Tonight, we're having smoked pork couscous with kale salad.
We got the couscous mixture right here. So we'll dump that in there like that. Let that sit for, like 5 minutes or so as it kind of marinates inside.
All right, it's been like 5 minutes here as we tie into the pre-mixed salad greenery. And the mosquitoes have dinner at the same time. It's really nice. Smoked pork loin couscous deal. Other than there's a bit of grass in there I just dropped. Looks pretty good. Who said dirty biker camping can't be delicious? Delicious. Lakeside, Ontario, sweet camping spot. Right on the water. Smoked pork loin with couscous, a little green salad. I mean, there's worse lives in the world for sure. By morning, some of the smoke has lifted on my beautiful camp spot, and we're back on the road. I'm headed to Sunbury, Ontario, to meet one of the most amazing women working in a kitchen like no other, a soup kitchen. I'm going to meet Sister Nicole, a woman who's devoted her life to helping others. But there was a lot to see between the border and the sister. I'm on a brief layover in Thunder Bay, where I had some tires shipped ahead and planned to do a classy motel parking lot tire swap.
Oh, big day today. New tire day. Oh, it's a bit of a struggle though. Well, I think this is gonna go over our shoulders.
As you can see, the new versus the old. Now, some people are going to say, hey, look at that chunk there. Either too much pressure, not enough pressure. And someone else is going to say, hey, why are you using an off-road tire on-road? I'm going to say maybe it's both, but who really cares? It's tire changing day.
One new tire, 2 holes, 2 tubes, and 4 stops in just as many kilometers.
Our second stop on the way to the tire shop, and the third fill of the day. To refill the tire. The irony here is we're right in front of a tire shop.
So we found a tube at a place, but they don't do tire changes. So I asked if I could set it up on their front lawn here. And they said, sure thing, just watch out for traffic. So we did a third try here.
I was able to cram this extra thick tube into place without issue. Back on the road. Not far down the road is the Terry Fox Memorial Lookout. Terry attempted to run across Canada to raise money for cancer research after it had taken his leg. Terry succumbed to cancer before finishing the run, and his memory will always have a special place in the hearts of Canadians. From here, it was off to visit Canada's largest goose, fitting as I was doing Canada's largest journey on a motorbike named Goose. Then a quick stop to see another great Canadian inspiration, my old friend, Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, time to put together the cooking experiment. As you can see, we're just next to Winnie the Pooh here, the Winnie the Pooh inspiration.
I came up with what I thought was a great idea to start experimenting with cooking on the engine. And had a little meat marinating in Canadian Crown Royal whiskey I picked up from Gimli, Manitoba. And some red peppercorns with a few other spices I'd had on my Moto Spice rack. More on that spice rack in a later episode.
For a closer look here. I got it shoved sort of down in by the pipe there. Warsaw cookery test number 1. Let's see what happens.
As far as highway drives go, cutting through the first chunk of Ontario heading east is pretty nice.
I was headed in the direction of Timmins, Ontario, home to another great Canadian talent, Shania Twain. I was hoping to get off the Trans-Canada Highway and onto some lesser traveled roads. This seemed to be the wildlife corridor, and I came across a lot of moose.
There, little moose. There, Mr. Moose. Yeah, just a little tiny one. Look at your big funny nose. See you later, Mr. Moose.
And one black bear, before coming across this little sign that mentioned not to feed the bears.
Please don't feed the bears? Sounds like I'm not gonna stop over. Let's see what's down this road.
With a bit of off-road touring, I eventually landed at a wilderness camp spot. It looked like it was used by hunters in the winter. There was enough of a clearing around me that I thought I might be able to at least see a bear, or a moose, or anything else coming my way if it came to that. But that theory was proved wrong. I set up camp and checked on my engine dinner, while the tiny black flies were enjoying me as their dinner.
I don't know, it doesn't actually feel that hot. So maybe that wasn't quite close enough. It has a bit of a smell to it though. Let's see. Damn it. Still raw. Nope. No dice. Damn it. And this is tonight's dinner. It is our Dirty Biker beef buffet that we tried to cook on the engine there, but it wasn't quite in the right spot. It didn't quite get hot enough. It was more like lukewarm when we got here. So we heated it up in the pot and finished it off, and it's pretty tasty, but it's gonna need another trial and experiment day. I think we're gonna put it right on the exhaust pipe there to get it hot enough. And why this cute look, you ask? Why look like Little Red Riding Hood? Because there are so many black flies here that I can't even like open my mouth right now, but they go in my ear and up my nose. I spray myself with off and everything. They're probably going in the beef right now. They're everywhere. They're crawling all over the back of the camera here. So I'm covered up as much as I can because these little suckers like rip chunks of skin out of you. It's one thing if I'm eating beef, but I don't want them eating me. Anyways, the Dirty Biker beef buffet on the exhaust didn't quite pan out, so we're gonna try her again. But out of the pot, delicious.
I woke up the next morning to see that I had not one, but 2 visitors during the night.
So it would look like a fairly big paw print, and it looks like a moose track too that are going over mine.
After doing a bit of research, it seems my expert tracking skills were likely to be wrong about the moose, but likely to be right about the wolf.
I don't know, wolf maybe? Yikesers.
Ontario is home to 2 kinds of wolves, the timber and eastern wolf.
There's my hand, there's a track, so maybe like, I don't know, 3/4 the size of my hand, maybe? Something along those lines. Damn!
I was now feeling a bit like one of the 3 little pigs.
Man, that is right through camp. There's camp right there. God damn!
After eating my breakfast and thanking my lucky stars I wasn't someone else's breakfast, I was back on the road. The quiet landscape was cut short when I heard what I thought was a tire blowout from the back of my bike. Luckily, I'd grown up driving shitbox vehicles and had plenty of practice with random roadside repairs.
Just heard a loud snap back there over the bump, and it looks like the chain guard. I thought we blew the back tire here. Oh, well, that is inconvenient. I wasn't too sure what that sound was. Well, I don't really want that flipping around here.
So just assessing the damage here. As you can see, this got broken here, went over a bump back there and it snapped. I thought we blew a tire, but we just blew the chain guard, so I'm guessing the chain must be a little loose. So I took and punched some holes through the side here. Maybe you can see right there with my pocket knife. And now what I'm hoping is going to happen is hopefully I can get this bit of wire through here. Okay, check it out. So that's on there, but this front part's a little loose too. We might put some wire around it, just for good measure here.
Back on the road, I passed a lady pulling a cart with a suitcase trailer. I hadn't seen a house for hours and had no idea where she might be headed. Maybe she was just an eco-friendly traveler. Who am I to judge?
Today we're going to meet Sister Nicole at the Blue Door Soup Kitchen, and this looks like it might be the place. Although I don't really want to leave my bike parked outside with a bunch of people hanging around, but we'll see. We'll just maybe tuck this motorbike right here.
This is the Blue Door Soup Kitchen? Yeah. Alright, I'm at the right spot.
Finally, the infamous Blue Door Soup Kitchen. I've come to learn there is more to Canadian culture and cuisine than steaks, salmon, and tree sap. There is this highly under-recognized culture of Canadian volunteers who quietly offer up their valuable time and those that they serve. I'd come to the Blue Door Soup Kitchen to see who some of these incredible people were why they do what they do, and, well, what kind of food comes out of their kitchen. What I found could not have been more different than what I was expecting. At the helm of this organization, a delegate of the Almighty himself, Sister Nicole, an unbelievably pleasant and friendly woman in her 70s. After 21 years teaching school, she has since spent 14 years volunteering here. Sister Nicole starts by asking me if I've ever heard of a MasterChef Black Box Challenge, noting that every day here is like a Black Box Challenge, as you never know what ingredients you're going to get. And she quickly puts me to work making a creamsicle bread pudding recipe she'd invented based on an undersupply of milk and an oversupply of orange juice.
Yeah.
And we used to make a bake sale. We used to bake with the kids night before they get their report cards for the parents.
You bake before they got their report card?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a good
Before
omen. You
the
give the
report
parents a
cards.
treat and then the report card.
Some of the kids are gonna get this.
The parents would buy all what we baked. We
Yeah.
would make about $600-700 for one night.
Whoa.
And at that time, I went with 2 students. The store bought everything we needed for spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
And we cooked that at school, and we're coming here to serve that to the clients.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with the money we make. Because we don't receive much dessert, so we've got to make some.
Yeah.
So that's what I do with whatever we've got.
Next, I meet Bill, who tells me about how the Blue Door got started with the help of his Aunt Corrine and husband Roger, who started it all. And Bill is happy to carry on the family tradition. Bill is quite proud of all they do around here, the volunteers that come on a regular basis, as well as club volunteers from groups like Rotary, an establishment named for the blue collar that can always be seen on the Virgin Mary.
What's the reference of the Blue Door and Virgin Mary?
Because the Virgin Mary, we used to have the statue, she's always wearing blue.
Oh.
She's the mother of Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was wearing blue.
She's always wearing blue, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So she
So that's why it's Blue Door. It used to be
When walking through the door, it certainly feels like something unexplainable has pulled people here. This lady is unstoppable. I have my back turned cutting the bread when I hear a 15-pound RoboCoupe immersion blender whizzing behind me. And I turn around to see Sister Nicole zipping up a 16-liter bucket between her feet, before finishing up and casually bending over to grab the bucket and haul over to her prep table. Did I mention she's 76? Then back to the final touches on the raisin bread pudding with a touch of cinnamon, the egg, the milk, and orange juice creamsicle mix, then into the oven. It really is like a MasterChef challenge around here. When the bread pudding is done, I'm handed a 4-liter jug of boutique pure maple syrup to drizzle on top. For what I was expecting for soup kitchen standards, this treat is amazing.
Delicious.
with the syrup.
With everything. Maybe it's that sneaky orange juice you put in there.
I've also been handed some delicious chili I was snacking on, made by long-term volunteer Mark and his sister. His actual sister. Mark casually explains they were given a bunch of fresh cuts of protein meats from a premium grocery store chain, Smith's, that they've used. I don't think I've ever had chili in my life with premium proteins as the base. I've only been here for a couple of hours, and we've already made the creamsicle bread pudding with boutique maple syrup, fresh smoothies, the premium protein chili, and now Sister Nicole has come up with a dessert to use to help get rid of the $250 in milk chocolate Lindor hearts they've had donated. Oh my god. The retail value of this chocolate alone would prevent these ingredients from ending up in the walk-in cooler of most mom-and-pop food operations. But today, they become Sister Nicole's Heavenly Chocolate Squares to go on the menu at the Blue Door Soup Kitchen.
That was the morning at the Blue Door Soup Kitchen. What a friendly bunch they are. Made up of volunteers and a small staff, feeding around between 150 and 180 people on a regular basis. That is a mission at the mission all its own. Wowzers.
The Blue Door Soup Kitchen was more like a 3-star cafe with a smoothie bar and a daily black box menu with $0 written right next to all the menu items. It was incredible. Ontario has an immense wilderness with endless outdoor adventure options, great camping, and motorcycling. While there are endless food experiences to be had, if you're driving through Sudbury, looking to volunteer, or just looking for a place to donate some extra dollars, the Blue Door Soup Kitchen is the door I recommend donating to or walking through. Hey, you there, my little adventuring friend. If you're enjoying the show, take a minute to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Your support helps us get the show out to more incredibly awesome people just like you. And thanks for watching. Next time on the Cooked Motorcycle Adventure, we find ourselves in an array of sleeping situations, including under attack in the woods by an assault of Ontario-sized mosquitoes, in a time warp at this virtually untouched 70s motel, and right through the front door of a brand new house, before eventually finding what we came looking for. Food. Glorious food. Oh wait, and booze? Did someone say maple rye cocktails?